You're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome. You are welcome. How are you? How are you? Yes, yes, yes. Let me see. Who am I inviting? I want to get someone. Yes, yes, yes. You're welcome. I'm just bringing someone to join my video now. If you can see me, please say yes, you can see me in the comment section. I want to be sure that you guys can see me. You're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, this is a live session that I am doing with Udwezwe. She's Greens on Gardiner Immigration Consulting Firm. And I'm going to bring her here. Hi, Loveline. How are you? Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining, all of you. Please tell me you can hear me. I want to know that my audio is good. Jenny, thank you. Hello, Amaka. Amaka Munemunde. Yes, how are you all? I'm just getting ready to bring Udwezwe. She's going to talk about the opportunities in Canada. Opportunities for relocation to Canada. So I'm going to see if I can bring her in here. Let me see. Okay, yeah, Udwezwe. Let me see if I can bring her. Oh, God, have mercy. This thing can be annoying. Yes, so let me see. I want her to join me. I'm waiting for her. Just hold on. Let me ring her, please, okay? Let me ring her and be sure that she's ready to join. Let me be sure that she's ready to join us. Yes, how are you? Chukwu Ogochukwu Mary Queen, how are you? It's been a long time since I came on. I came here. Let me bring her in 1 second. Let me just tell her. Let me just tell her now that I'm live so that she can join. Tell her that the audience is waiting for her. How are you? You're all welcome. You're all welcome. Whilst we are waiting for her, let me be gisting you people. The one that the one that really shocked me is this Mesome GK girl. She be the one that falsified her JAMB results. Hey God. This is the thing that I woke up to this morning to hear, that she actually falsified her JAMB results. As in, I'm in shock. As in, we have gone to a level where young people are now bold enough to falsify exam results. Was it not the other day I was talking about exam malpractice? Do you guys remember? I actually did a series of posts on exam malpractice and how common it is, and how I was raised by a father that could not condone it. As in, it was intolerable. I grew up knowing that exam malpractice was intolerable. As in, it's not something that should even enter my head. And I went through university. Knowing, not even through university. I went through school, my primary or secondary, university. So let me invite you, Greens on Gardiner. I went to university knowing that it is a taboo. So let me invite her. 1 second now. Let me see if I can send Greens on Gardiner. Let me see if I can send you an invite. I'm not seeing that I can invite you. Let me see. Okay, so let me see. Greens on Gardiner. Wait. Yes, I can add you. So let me bring her. Add. So I'm adding you now. I'm adding you now. Very good. So let me know when you can come. So I went through school knowing that it's a taboo. It's not something you should ever do. To cheat anybody, not just exam malpractice, to cheat anybody out of anything. To take what does not belong to you rightfully is a taboo. As in, I can't even see one scobo or 1 cent on the floor and pick it because of how I was raised. That's the way I'm raising my children. So I don't know how parents, whether you think is wokeness. So I'm adding you. Please join. I'm adding you. I don't know whether parents think is wokeness, so whether what sort of children they are bringing up. I don't understand how a girl, and she was not even shaking. This girl was not even shaking. She told this lie before everybody. Hey, we have her here. I know her Tata Tanle, but she do dress well now.
I love that when you call me that.
Can you guys?
I always love that when you call me that, Tata Tanle. How are you?
Tata Tanle, you are welcome. Please, everybody, share this video far and wide. You know, this is a video that you don't want to miss, okay? You don't want to miss this session with Tata Tanle. She is a certified immigration consultant in Canada, as in certified, as in the Canadian government recognizes her, okay? She went to school for it and she learned everything about it. So she's somebody that you can trust what she's telling you. She's not one of those agents that are looking to just take your money and that's it. Okay, she's somebody you can trust what she's telling you. So without wasting more of your time, I introduce to you Udwezwe, CEO of Greens on Gardiner Immigration Consulting Firm. You can follow them on Facebook and follow all her posts. She's actually, you know, she's gotten really popular with this and she has a lot to share. So I open the floor to you, Greens on Gardiner. Please go ahead, okay?
Oh, thank you so much, beautiful Princess Dr. Ada Ojalewa of the parenting and the styles and everything. It is really my pleasure to be in your life today. And thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to be in this platform, so as to present myself forward. My name is Ifituni Osande, and I am originally from Nigeria. That is where I hail from. So I am a licensed Canadian immigration consultant. I am a regulated Canadian immigration consultant who is authorized by the government of Canada to discuss Canadian immigration consulting services. I am also licensed by the Saskatchewan government to provide Canadian immigration services to foreign workers, foreign nationals coming to the province of Saskatchewan. So if you go to the province of Saskatchewan, you will find my name there. Okay, I am an educational consultant with the University of Regina. I am also an educational consultant with the University of New Brunswick. So if you're making an application there, once you see my name, my company name, Greens of Gardiner, then you select them. I am also an educational consultant with the Saskatchewan Polytechnic. I am also an educational consultant with the Luther College High School. So if you are looking for wanting to do a grade 12 in maybe in a Canadian college, you can also contact us. I am a registered social worker of Saskatchewan, and I graduated from the University of Regina also with an academic silver prize. So all this, I am so grateful because I am here to guide people the right way. So today, we'll be talking about Canadian immigration services, what it is for you and what it is for me, what I am allowed to do and what I cannot do. So first of all, if you want to confirm whether I am a Canadian immigration consultant, whether I am licensed in Saskatchewan to discuss Canadian immigration services, you can do a simple due diligence by going to the Government of Canada website. That is www.cic.gc.ca. You go in there, you type who is allowed to represent you. I belong to the college called College of Immigration and Citizenship Consultant. So you click on that college and you type in Greens. Once you put Greens on Gardener, you'll find my name there, right? You'll find my name, you'll find my license number, you'll find everything. Again, if an agent tells you that the person is, if I want to hire an agent now, what I'm going to do is very simple. Sorry, I have a call, I have to cut it. So if I want to hire an agent to work for me, I have to also register this agent with this college, so they will have the person's record and at the same time have my own record, so that if I am not available, so that if you want to perform your due diligence, you always go there. If I am using an agent, the agent's role is not to advise you on Canadian immigration services, because the person does not have that license to discuss Canadian immigration, to offer Canadian immigration services. What the agent might do is maybe to help me to collect documents. What the agent will do is maybe to help me to advertise my work, but the agent is not authorized to do anything about start advising you about Canadian immigration services. So it is wrong for you to use an agent who, or a ghost consultant, an unauthorized consultant, pay that person money and ask the person to represent you. So oftentimes in our clinic, we usually hear people coming to say, help us to find out if this admission is correct. Find out if this admission letter is real. Find out if this admission letter is fake. Honestly, I won't be able to do that. You know why? Because I am not authorized to look into that. I can't start calling a school to start asking that school, hey, is this admission letter correct? Is this admission letter this? Because I am not in that student's portal. My name is not documented. I am not representing that particular student. So the school won't be able to do that for me. So, and again, I want us to understand something. Before I go into today's business, I want to talk about the recent one that has been happening. That is whether visitors can work in Canada. Honestly, visitors can work in Canada the way the government put it in that place. But did you look at the eligibility criteria? So for a visitor to work in Canada, that visitor must have no job, not just a job offer, but that job offer must be supported, must be valid. When they say a job offer that is valid, it has to be validated with what they call LMIA, Labor Market Impact Assessment. What that means is that, oh, this job this person is doing, there's no available Canadian or available resident, permanent resident. They can do this job in Canada, and now we can hire someone. So how do you go about that? Do you have that? And for you to have that, you need to confirm, ensure that it's coming from the right source. To be very honest with you people, I don't do LMIA. I don't go about looking for recruiters or employers looking for, oh, do you want to hire somebody? Do you want to? No, I don't do that. But if you have an employment letter from an employer, I will help you to process the work permit. If an employer approaches me right now and tells me, hey, I want somebody, a hair maker, let me tell you people how it works. When an employer approaches a consultant and tells the consultant, I am looking for seasonal workers. I am looking for people, truck drivers, who can do this. And I will ask them what's the duration. You know what I'll do? I'll put it out. I'll advertise it in 3 different websites. That's job advertisement website, of which one? Job Bank is a must do for me. If that job is not advertised in Canada's job bank, it might not be accepted. So you have to put it out there in the job bank first, then put it out in other two advertisements, online, whatever. Advertise it for 30 days to know if anybody is showing interest. If anybody is not showing interest, why are they not showing interest? If they are showing interest, and I have to ensure that the wage that I am putting out there, the hourly page, the median, whatever, is not low. You know that what I mean? It's not maybe the province is taking like $10, then I'm now putting like $8 or $7, maybe to scare people. So it has to be the median wage of that province. So if after 30 days I did not get all this, then I will go collect some of the documents from the employer that wants to hire people. I will collect their documents, their government of their documents, their this and that. I know the documents I will collect from them. They will pay me, and at the same time, I will take this to the agency in charge of that. Then they will work on it. If they are satisfied, if that employer hasn't had issues in the past, if the employer has had issues in the past, they will not accept it. But they will look at it, process it, ask questions, go there, check out that, oh, this thing has already been put out, including the major job bank of Canadian, and this is not just there. Okay, this is how it has to be. This person has done what the person is supposed to do. Then they will now give me that job offer that will be validated. That is when it is said it is now valid. Do you understand? That is when we say it is now, when they approve those things I sent to them, that is what we call that job offer has been approved. And once it is approved, sorry, I have a problem. And once it is approved, I will now take those things, go back to the employer, say, oh, this thing has already been approved. Mind you, this job of when I was doing all these things, there was no name written of those things, right? Meaning that I can, after getting this approval, that is when I can look out for people and say, hey, you can do this, you can do this, you can do this. Okay, I have a job offer for you. Do you understand? So there's some big organizations, they used to have this job offer because they have a lot of people doing their work. If anybody is not fit, they can actually hire somebody and replace. So they usually have this job offer. Please do not sell your houses when you have visitors visa. Do not sell your home. Do not resign from your employment. Do not give up all that you have. Do not sell your cars when you have visitors visa. Visitors visa only means that you have a temporary stay in Canada. There are two ways to approach this thing, because by the time I see these people coming, then I'll start doing a kind of counseling, which I am not meant to do. So do your homework very well. So if you want to look for a job, I have mentioned that job bank is a place, a must place. You must advertise your job. You can go there, run a search. When you go to that job bank, put in your job description, or maybe your job title, nurse. When you click on it, you scroll down to the bottom of the page. By the left-hand side, you will see the button there. You click on it. You say Canadian/international, meaning that international people, that is outside Canada, can apply for this job. You click on that and refine it. So any job that comes out there, you will look at it. You can jot it down, send them an email, because that job will also show you whether you can apply or whether you cannot apply. Do you understand? So that is it for that one. So you can also have in mind that I am traveling to Canada. When I go to Canada, my mission is I'm just embarking on an exploratory visit. I want to go and explore. I want to go and see if I can see anybody to hire me. And this plus and minus, when I get to Canada, I will stay 6 months months, use my 6 months time, because that is what is allowed for a foreign national to stay in Canada as a foreign national. So you will be like, oh, let me see if I can see anybody to hire me. Let me see if I can see anyone to hire me. So if you're not able to see anyone to hire you, just give me a second, I'll be right back. Excuse me.
Okay, so she'll be back. Just give her a second. She's telling us basically what I'm gleaning from what she's saying is that she's advising people who think that they can work in Canada with a visiting visa. You know, visiting visa is normally come and visit and go. In most countries, when they give you a visiting visa, you're not allowed to work with that visiting visa. Even in Europe, when you get a visiting visa, you're not allowed to work. Okay, so I was just telling them kindly, I was just recapping basically, okay, that the message you're trying to pass across to them is that ordinarily a visiting visa, you're not allowed to work in a visiting visa. The visiting visa is just come and visit and go, and come and visit for a very specified number of months and go. And it is even better for you, don't even try to exceed the conditions of your visiting visa or to break it or to breach those conditions in any way, because it messes up your immigration history. But what she's saying is that there's only one condition you can use to work with a visiting visa, and that condition is that the employer that is going to employ you, if you find a job, will have to first of all prove that there is no Canadian citizen or resident, legal resident, that is available to do that job. And she has listed the processes that employer has to go through in order to prove that. And that includes advertising it on a job bank on the right amount of remuneration. Remuneration means salary. Okay? Making sure advertising is there for a specified length of time to see if they can get a Canadian citizenship or resident to apply for that job. If they do that and they get a Canadian resident or citizen to do that, they will not take you. You will not stand a chance. And a lot of times that is what happens. Okay? So it's after they have done that and they've proven that there is no Canadian resident or citizen that can take the job, that you can now stand a chance of being given that job. So far, this is what I think you have passed across. So go ahead, continue.
You are indeed the daughter of a teacher. You're indeed the daughter of a teacher. So what I'm trying to say, thank you so much. You really explain it in the way it's supposed to be. Thank you so much. So that is what, and mind you that when you had in mind of coming to Canada to stay for 6 months, which is the at maximum number of periods authorized for a visitor to stay in Canada, you might, when you get to the port of entry, the officer you meet there might give you 30 days.
Yes, even though you have 6 months, even though you have 6 months visa, they can reduce it to 30 days.
So that 30 days stated there is your status. Your status is not that visa that you have. That visa you have in your passport just gives you access to enter flight to come to Canada. Wow. But that visa does not really give you access to enter Canada. Your access to Canada inside Canada is determined by the port of entry officer, the person you meet in the port of entry. So he has the right to know whether you enter or not. Do you understand? And he can ask you a few questions. Do you understand? He might even start asking you a few questions, this, and that. So if you're satisfied, he will let you in. If he's not satisfied, he might say, oh, go back. And if you said he's satisfied, he might just allow you. If he gives you like 30 days, that 30 days is what the maximum number of days you can stay in Canada. But if you feel that, oh, when you are staying, oh, I would still want to stay more, please ensure that you request for extension. Do you understand? You request for extension. So during the time period you requested for extension, you're still allowed, you have an implied status, a maintained status, meaning you can still continue to stay until when you hear from them. So any day you hear from them, it might be they have granted you extension, or they say you should leave. Please obey. Do you understand? So that's
where do they apply for this extension?
okay. Like if the officer gives them like 30 days to stay in Canada, and when they're in Canada and on the 25th day they feel like, oh, I still want to stay more than 30 days. I want additional 30 days or 60 days, which is 2 months. You can apply. You can make an application. Do you understand?
Where do they do their application?
They can come to us, they can do it online. They can come to us, they can look for immigration officers. So they can just apply,
so they can
everything
come
is
to
with their
you.
website.
Yes,
Yeah.
to help them.
So,
or they can go online and do that.
and they can
the
do
website.
it on their own. So they will make an application. So when they make an application asking for extension, on the end of the 30th day, their status is still valid. On the 45th day, their status is still valid because they have requested they want to stay, but they've not heard from them.
Okay.
Right? So this period,
they will not be regarded as illegal as long as they have made that application before the 30 days.
Exactly. Yes. So because their status has not been determined, so they still have what they call a maintained status or implied status. So the day you will hear from them is either they say they approve your extension, or they say no, you can go back. And they might state 30 days from, they give you 30 days, starting from the date on the letter. Please obey that. And when you are in Canada, you're not allowed to work, because if you work without work authorization, it's illegal. Because when you are making an application, there's always a place, a spot to put it. Have you ever worked in Canada unauthorized? Have you ever overstayed your period in Canada? Would you be saying yes, no here? Do you understand? So, and again, another thing we have over time, we usually hear sometime when people come to our own clinic for consultation, you find out that sometimes some of the rejection they used to get from Canada is because they did not really state the material fact. For example, if you are making a Canadian application and they state, have you ever been denied visa to any country? Please, if you have been denied visa to the US, tell them, yes, I have been denied visa to the US. They won't use that one to judge you, but they will only use it to judge you when you state no, whereas you have been refused US visa. All these countries, they have Five Eyes country, they have common system that guides them.
They have links and networks. So it's better to just be honest. Just be honest.
Again, even if they say, have you ever been refused Canadian visa? And you know you already have 10 years Canadian visa, only that it has expired. You have been to Canada. But that word said, have you ever? You can say, yes, I have. But now, in that space there, you say, yes, formerly I was refused. I was not given visa in 2020, but in 2023, I now have 5 years visa. So it is only when you misrepresent issues, it attracts 5 years ban. Because when they misrepresent issues, that is when they will send them a letter they call procedural fairness letter. Procedural fairness letter, meaning this letter, we have some concerns and we need you to clear those concerns. That is when you see them running coming to us, this, and that. Oh, it's no, I did not know my agent. I didn't know my agent put yes. I didn't know my agent put that. I did not know my agent, whatever. Okay, so can I have this application with you? No, my agent said no, he cannot give me this, and that. Oh, my agent said that. Okay, but by the time they will bring it, you find out that the person is calling agent. She did not even give, it was even her own password and details they're using, signing all this. Do you understand? So if you are using a consultant, like if you are using me, for example, before I can do anything with you, after initial consultation, I will give you what we call service agreement. Formerly, we used to call it retainership agreement. That agreement would spell out all the services that I will be offering you, what you will do for me and what I will do for you. Anytime we want to change that thing, we'll always add an addendum. And again, you will sign authorized representative form for me, meaning that you are authorizing me to provide these services for you. So you are not the one to submit your application. I will be the one to submit it in my own portal because my name is with them. My business is with them. So I won't be doing anything and be using your own password, to do those things. And meanwhile, again, I have to tell people, we do not do what sourceworthy people call statement of account. Because some will come, they will refuse because of statements or whatever. Okay, can we have it? They said, no, the agent said she will not give me, but you supply the statement. Let me have the statement that you supply. No. So what I am trying to say is this. All the documents you will work with, even if I will be the one to consult for you, you have to provide all those documents.
Exactly. You cannot
I am not meant
you
to
cannot read
provide.
people's minds. You cannot read their minds. You cannot work blindly. You need the documents that will enable you take the right decision and the right steps. And some of these agents can be so shady and they destroy people's chances, actually. In fact, a lot of people say it would have been better if they fill those applications themselves, because then they will know, they will suffer the consequences of their own choice instead of suffering consequences of an agent's choice. So go ahead.
So what we do for initial consultation, because people have asked me over time, oh, why should we pay for that? That's too much. During immigration initial consultation, the consultant will assess you on all streams, tell you all that is required, give you the breakdown of the route. Once you people establish a particular route you want to follow, she will tell you the money you can use from start to finish. The application fee, the processing fee, if it's IELTS fee, the ECA, that is educational credential evaluation. So credential evaluation. So all these things, your education, the consultant will tell you the fee. The only thing we cannot tell you, maybe what your school will charge for transcript, that kind of a thing, because it all depends. So that is it. During the initial consultation, we'll tell you everything. If at the end of that initial consultation, you decide you want to do it on your own, you have grabbed enough information that will enable you to do it on your own. But if you do not want to do it on your own, if you want that consultant to handle it for you, that consultant will give you a retainership agreement, the service agreement. Once you sign it, she'll invite you again back to a meeting where you people will address all that she will do for you and all that she will not do, this and that. Once you pay the money or whatever, she will take it. And anytime they want to do anything, she will always come to you. If I have an information, I will tell you this is the information I have for you. I can't write and say, oh, her father said her father said she will be back after 30 days. I can't manufacture this. I have to sit in writing and I will see proofs, things that will show me. Do you understand? that she will come back, because I'm not going to be the one. Like if I am trying to say, oh, she has the intention to return. So if I want to prove it in my own submission letter as a consultant, I will state that this person has been to the United States 3 times, and she has also been to the UK 4 times. After those visits, she was able to return back to her home country. And I am confident that after coming to Canada, she will still return at the end of the period authorized for her stay. Do you see how this information flows? So I can manufacture anything. Or if I want to prove intention to return, I'll also say, oh, this person has 5 kids and a wife whom he loves very well. They have been in this relationship for 30 days based on the marriage certificate presented before me. They have 5 kids and they live in their beautiful home together. I cannot think that this person will go to Canada and remain, knowing that his interest in his home country outweighs that of Canada, because of the strong family ties he has in Nigeria. You see, I can't just be the one to manufacture this. So you have to provide the letters. You have to give me the resources I will use to do this work. Okay, so that is this for now. Then we'll now talk about the study permit application, right? As you can see, Nigeria, we have already finished writing WAEC, and we are waiting for the results, which will be coming out in August. So lots of people will be asking, oh, I want my daughter to go to school. I work with school. I want my daughter to go to school. So if you believe that your children or your ward will come to school in Canada, this is the time for you to start making plans. If you had that in mind, this is the time for you to still put the money in the bank deposit or in the bank statement. Canada always believe you give them what they call detailed statement. Do you understand? Detailed transaction history. Statement that has transaction history. So now that you have finished, they have finished school and they are trying to wait for their result. This is their gap period. This is the time they will start learning skills, learning how to make hair. Thank you, Precious. Princess has been talking over time about hair, this, and that. This is the time they will be talking about what can we do while we wait. So the results
tell us those skills. Just tell us those skills that are hot in Canada that you should learn this period. Let them hear it from you.
Oh, you have already said it over time. It's hair, okay. Because I remember one parent that I spoke with last year. So she told me that her daughter is learning makeup. I was like, oh, but I think hair could be the best, right? Yes. I told her, I said, makeup, how many people make up? People will prefer to do it on their own. Exactly. But for hair, honestly speaking, if you ask me, because you can't decide for people, if you ask me, I'll tell you it is for hair. Because yes. Sometimes you will make hair, you'll be like, oh my God, why would I spend this money? So I said, let her learn how to make hair, even if you have all the money, because she will have a friend. They will return the services to each other. If she makes her friend's hair, her friend will make her hair, exactly. Right? So a few days ago, I've been seeing the students, each time I ask her, she'll be like, oh, I'm not doing summer work. I have somebody I'm making hair, that kind of a thing. So she just repeating it. Because this is something you just do.
The hair making has made her busy. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so she's just so happy. She said, oh, I have somebody I'm making hair. I have somebody I want to fix her hair. I want somebody I want to do this. So you start learning how to do that. You learn how to make hair. If you're a boy, you learn how to barb. If you can also learn how to make hair, that's still okay if you're a boy. Then if the child is more than 17 or going to 18, another thing is learning how to drive, because it is not a luxury in Canada. it is a necessity in Canada. Driving is a necessity in Canada because of the weather. So while they are waiting, they can learn all this. So now I am now talking about admission. When it comes, let me tell you people, when it comes to admission, anybody can get admission in Canada. It is not really that hard. Anybody can get admission because for Nigerians, what they use for them is WAEC. Some schools use NACO, but I'm telling you that for Canada, what they use for them is WAEC, and that WAEC, some school will ask you to provide scratch card to enable them authenticate that. That is what the Ministry of Nigeria has already given them. It's WAEC, that is what they use. And out of the WAEC, from their WAEC result, they will use like 5 courses in grading them. So once you establish the school your child wants to attend, this child gets admission. If you fill the admission condition, just give me a second. I'm coming.
Okay, so I hope you guys are understanding. Lola, Chima, let me greet all my people. Ngozi Tunde, you're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, Uzeze is back here. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. So once they get admission, the next thing they will do, the next step is applying for study permit. So this is the time you have to now sit down and ask yourself, am I a bona fide student? Because what they need you to establish is that you're a bona fide student and that you have intention to return at the end of your studies, right? So you need to prove all those things. So when you're making an application, the eligibility criteria requirements by the law is the number 1. You must get admission from a designated learning institution. If a school gives you a letter, there's letter of acceptance, they must always write the DLI number on top of it. So if you are looking for a school to study and you want to remain in Canada after you are done with studies, ensure that that school is DLI eligible. If that school is not a designated learning institution, you are ineligible to apply for postgraduate work permit at the end of your studies because you are not authorized.
Please, what's this DSI you just said? DSI eligible.
Designated learning institution.
Beautiful. So it is important that as they're applying to a school, it's important to find out that that school is a designated learning institution, because that is the only criteria that they can stay more after they graduate. Is that correct?
Yes. So if they go to that website, even when we are talking, when we are done, they can type in Google, postgraduate work permit, am I eligible? Or designated learning institution. So when you type on it, designated learning institution, it will give you the website pumps up. Once it pumps up, you can type in University of Regina. It will come up immediately and show you their designated learning institution number. So the very first criteria for an international student to school in Canada is that it must be a designated learning institution. That's number 1.
So that
number
you prevent yourself from getting admission from rubbish mushroom places that don't have that designated. Wow.
Yeah.
So continue.
So number 2, you have to prove that you have the tuition. Even if you are coming for a 4 years program, what you are expected to prove is only for tuition to cover that 1 year. So you must have a tuition. Nobody is saying it is good for you to pay tuition fees, but they did not ask you to pay tuition fees. What is required of you is to show that financial ability, which you will demonstrate in your statement of account. I have this money that can cover, this tuition is 20,500. What I have in my account is 20,500. It can cover this. Do you understand? So
Yes.
I have this tuition to cover my this amount, and it is in your statement of account.
Yes.
Are you getting?
Yeah.
So thereafter, as soon as that one is over, you put that one aside. I have this money. Let us assuming that it's this 20,500. You don't need to have like 21,000 in your account, because you might have, how after giving me 20,500 out from your 21,000, how would you now survive? Is 500 enough for you to survive, or 1,000, is it enough for you to survive thereafter? So you have to prove that you are financially
capable.
Yeah. So that is number one. Number two, living expenses. You need to have a minimum of 10,000 living expenses. So you have to add this in addition to that 2,500, which is 30,500. So you need to demonstrate that you have the money to cover it for money, right? So the next one again is, hello? So the next one
We
again
can hear
is the
you.
board,
We
the
can hear you. Go ahead.
transportation. The transportation. So the board, the transportation means that I have 4,000 that will take me to Canada. Thereafter, this money can also bring me back. So you have to add this to what I have said. This is the money you have to demonstrate. Do you understand? This is what you put together, that you said that I have this money that will cover 1 year. So guys, I have another meeting, and just give me a second, I'm coming.
So I hope you guys are understanding. You're welcome. Onyeka, how are you? Very good. You're welcome. So I hope you guys are understanding what she's saying. Or if you have questions, just be asking it in the comment section. When she's done, she'll take it. Go ahead.
Okay, so that is it. Other is just for you to go for medical, do a very detailed statement of papers showing that, oh, I have an intention. Since my early childhood, I have always wanted to be an engineer, and I want to learn how to do this in Canada because I know Canadians, they are good in this. Oh, the school I have inspected, the school I wanted to do this, to study engineering, and I am studying this because the school is great in this and that. Do you understand? So these are the ways. You have to prove that the school is a designated learning institution. You have to prove that you have the tuition, you have the living at 10,000 the minimum of 10,000 to cover the living expenses. You have to provide the board, which is your transportation. Then you also have to be fit, medically fit, because you undergo medical exams. And if you are more than above 18 years old, you're expected to provide them for this report to show that you don't have any criminal crime. If you are less than 17 years old, you are required to provide custodian form. You need somebody, a custodian, a legal guardian who will be able to guide this child who is still a minor, right? So you need to provide that. So all this is what you have to provide, okay?
Very good. Very good. Thank you so much. You've listed basically all the requirements they need to go for study visa. Maybe this is just for study visa. Very good. And can you tell us your services? Tell us where you come in, what you help them do.
Yeah, so if you want to come to Canada to study and you're a student coming to Canada to study, I am an education consultant with all the schools I mentioned. So the schools I mentioned, you have to pay me 75,000. So this 75,000 is for me to get admission for you. Do you understand?
This $75,000 or 75,000 naira.
naira.
You
Okay, so
you
let
told
me
me,
break it down. For the
break it
schools,
down.
my initial consultation is usually 60,000, $100 for 30 minutes, and 150 for 1 hour. But for Nigerians, I have left it for 60,000. So for the schools I consult for, if you are coming looking for admission for these schools, I don't charge them anything, because I don't charge them anything in getting admission for them. All they need to provide is for them to provide that $100 or $125 for the admission, depending on the school they want to go to. So for me to weed out all these people, so if you are coming to me and if you want to attend any of these schools, you have to provide that 75,000, because it will enable me to get the admission letter for you.
Good. Very good. So do you do the application for them?
So if they want to do the admission application, so we also do the application for them if they want, if they don't want to do it on their own.
Okay, very good. So you can assist them with the application, or you can guide them, or they can do the application, but you will be the middle person between them and the school.
For the school, I am their middle person. I will help them to do everything, and at the same time provide their admission letter and give them the admission letter. So they call the admission letter acceptance letter. So when they get the acceptance letter, they are free to do it on their own if they want to. But if they don't want to do it on their own, then we can also do it for them.
Okay, so
yeah.
You mean after they get the admission letter, they can apply for the visiting visa themselves,
No,
or you can help them
study
apply?
permit.
Oh,
study permit. They
study
can apply for.
You can do, but study permit means study visa now.
Study
Student
visa. That's what they call
it. Is that they can do the student visa themselves, or you can do it for them?
If they
do you charge
want.
If they want, do you charge extra to apply it for them?
So if it is the school that we consult for, do you understand? We charge them. So if it's not the school, if it is not the school we consult for, we charge them. Do you understand?
Okay. So if it's not any of these schools that you're affiliated with, if it's another school that they got admission for, you charge them. But if it is this University of Regina and all these other schools you mentioned, you don't actually charge them to apply for the visiting visa for those schools.
No, we don't actually charge them, but they need to show that they are bona fide students.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bona fide students means they have to meet this criteria that you just mentioned, isn't it?
Exactly.
All those proving that they have funds, proving that they are well, proving that they have money to sustain themselves, and all these things you just mentioned.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I'm really impressed that once they're applying to those schools that you're affiliated with, that you don't have to charge them everything. You don't have to charge them anything. They just have to provide evidence that they are bona fide students.
Yes, once they provide bona fide, they are good.
And how likely is it for them to get the student's visa? Is it something that is commonly given?
It all depends on them. Nobody guarantees study permit. Nobody. Okay. I don't have the final say, but all that we usually tell them is that we'll do a good job, right? But it's left for the officer to know what to do. But we'll do a good job, but we don't guarantee that, oh, the outcome of this will be nice or 100%.
Very good. Very good. It's because it's so important. Our people can be a bit somehow when it comes to that. They like guarantee like no man's business. So it's always important to specify that there are no guarantees anything. You are not the visa officer. You're not working with the embassy.
No.
The visa officer of the embassy, they are the people who will decide whether or not the visa should be granted. So it's always good to be clear on this, because our people can just mix things up very easily, and they'll think that you're the person who tells the visa officer who to give visa to. Okay?
Yeah, we usually tell them during consultation, well, we promise to do a good job, but we're not promising the outcome of that.
Yes.
Of that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And most people that that are able to prove that they're bona fide students, as in if they meet all those criteria you just mentioned, they have enough funds to pay the school fees for 1 year, they have enough funds to sustain themselves, they have the what do they call it, they have the medical checkups, everything checks out. Is it likely that they will get the study visa then if they meet this criteria?
Still, what I am saying, if the student proves the person is a bona fide student and provide documents, because it's not by the word of mouth, you provide documents and shows intention that you will go, then, but I can't guarantee and say, oh, this visa will come out nice. Everything depends on the officer handling it. The only thing is that when I am processing an application, I always process in a way that when you tell me that, oh, sorry, I was not able to provide this information, let me know so that I will put it in the explanation letter. Do you understand?
Yes.
So instead of the officer finding it out himself and start noting, oh, you did not provide this, you did not provide that. Do you understand? So, we do not guarantee the outcome of the visa, but we guarantee we always do a good job. So if you see anybody that tells you, hey, beat my chest, this will come out 100%, check it. The person might not be. So nobody, because what I can see sometimes, what I cannot see, the officer might see it and point it out. So it's only left for them to decide.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. No, well done. Well done. So does anybody have any questions for the Greens on Gardiner? Do you have any questions? Let's take questions briefly, because I know you have another session starting soon, isn't it?
Yes.
Very good. So how many minutes do you have for questions?
Maybe what they will do for me is that they should leave their question. I'll go back and
beautiful. So drop your questions in the comment section. Greens on Gardiner will come back later and answer it in the comment section, okay? So that's it, so that we can let her go. She's a very busy woman. Okay, no problem. Thank you so much for coming to speak to my audience. What you have said makes a lot of sense, and it is going to be very useful to those who are looking to relocate to Canada, especially through the study route, and also those who are thinking that as visitors to Canada, that they can just get a job immediately. Okay? So, well done. Well done. Well, thank you so much. Whoever sent me stars, thank you so much for the stars you've sent. Thank you. God bless you. All right. Take care then. Take care. All right. Bye-bye then. Bye. Bye. Thank you.